Hello, everybody. In this session, I have come up with many interesting, or you can say few interesting concepts that sometimes we lack while we decide that where to invest, how to invest, how much to invest, when to invest, right? Because it is all our hard earned money, and of course everybody wants to get or increase their wealth. Everybody wants to become rich. It does not mean that if we become rich we'll lose our values or we'll lose our concepts or philosophies. By increasing wealth, we will be securing our future. We will be able to live a comfortable life, and if we are at a better position, then obviously we will be able to help the needy section of the society. We'll be able to help others, not only by activities or actions, monetary also. So before we dig into various investment options, nowadays there are ample investment options. We can invest in government sectors, we can invest in market risk, right? Market oriented options. There are many options where we can invest and grow our money. But I think before investing, we should be clear in our mind about the financial objectives of us. For what we need the money? That is the most important question that should be answered, that should be clear in your mind. Then I think it will be easier to analyze or judge that what are the best suitable investment options that can fulfill the financial objectives of myself. Every individual has different financial objectives, different needs according to their different financial requirements or different financial needs. So before getting into the investment process, before even getting into the process of searching the investment option, I think that your financial objectives should be clear. Now, you may ask yourself that what is or what are your financial objectives that you want? Maybe today, maybe a month later, maybe 1 year later. What could be your or what are your financial objectives or financial requirements for which you would like to invest or you would like to grow your money, grow your wealth? So first, your financial objectives can be divided into two parts: short-term financial objectives and long-term financial objectives. We may not need all the funds in our short term. We can have plans to save for future requirements also. We all have some future plans. We all have some short-term requirements also. And especially in this kind of emergency circumstances or pandemics, we definitely would like to have some emergency funds which should be always available with us. This time has taught me a lesson that I should always plan in such a way that there should be some emergency funds always available to me, because you never know when the requirement comes. And that should be apart from the savings or investment that I had for my long-term requirements, right? So that ways you need to decide the financial objectives first. Short term financial objectives, let me give you some example, it will help you to find your own financial objectives. Short term objectives could be, say suppose if you want to buy some jewelry or invest in some gold. Short term requirements could be the requirement that you may expect within a year of time or maybe within 6 months to pay off some credit card loans. That could be an example. Then for another, if within 2 years of time you would like to buy a vehicle. That could be a short term requirement or a short term financial objective. For a long term objective could be you want to save for the education of your child. You want to pay off your home loan which have a tenure of 10 years or so. So you want to save your money to buy a house or to purchase a flat or to purchase a piece of land for yourself where you can build your dream home. So these could be your long-term objectives. Savings for the superannuation, retirement funds, that could be your long-term objectives, right? Saving for or investing now so that your child, when he will be in he will be of an age where he should start of his own business or want to pursue a higher study, you would like to save for it. That will obviously take a time period of according to the age of your child, a long-term objective. So these could be your long-term objectives or short-term objectives according to which you need to develop some envelopes, right? Some short-term dreams and some long-term dreams. And on the top of the envelopes, you need to mention the amount that you want to save for it. Okay. Then the picture will be clear that what sort of investment. There is a famous proverb that you should not put all your eggs in the same basket. So some of your investment should be short term so that they will be matured at the time when the requirement crops up. And some of your investment should be long term so that they will fulfill your long term objectives or long term financial objectives. Right. Now on the basis of your financial objectives, you can search the investment options that will suit your objectives or suits your financial targets. Now when it comes to investment options, you need to go back to yourself and see how much risk you can take. Very important, first and foremost. What is the requirement of your daily or regular cash flow? How much loss you will be able to bear with? What is your current financial situation? Now say suppose I am having a child at home which is just 2 years old. So the cash flow requirement, the regular cash flow requirement is at this point is more. Anytime any requirement can crops up and I should be prepared with the cash with me. So these kind of, if I need to be prepared with the cash with me, then of course I don't have that privilege to invest in some long-term investment right this point of time. If you have an old parent who is sick at home, you can't think of going for an investment or a long-term investment at this point of time, because you should be prepared with the cash at home, available at home, because anytime the cash is required or the emergency fund will be required. Then an education, going on education of the children will take some cash flow, their tuition fees, their stationaries, their school expenses. Okay, so you need to be prepared with that cash flow. How much is your monthly expenses or monthly requirement is there? You must be having some home loan that EMI has to go, or any other bills that you will have to pay. After doing all these, how much is left with you? And whatever I am left with, I just cannot invest the whole amount. I should be always prepared with my emergency fund. So I need to understand what is my financial situation. I need to understand how much regular cash flow is required, and whatever is left with, I need to save some portion of it as my emergency fund, and then I need to think how much is left for investment. Now, whatever is left for investment, again I need to come back to myself and decide whether I can invest in the market risk. I can take that chance. Now, market risk does not obviously means that there will be a loss, right? In that also I'll tell you in my separate videos that how you can make it a secured investment. Or else, if you are a completely risk averse person, then there are many government options, government investment options, where the rate of return is obviously low in comparison to the market risk funds, but there is a security that your money is not wasted. You will not lose your money. You will definitely get the money, at least whatever you have invested. So, moral of the story is, before going to investment or before you think of increasing your wealth, you need to decide yourself. You need to analyze your investment psychology. What you want from your money. You want your money to grow, or you want your money to save. Hope you enjoyed the lecture, the session. Very soon I'll be coming up with very interesting topics on investments. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy.